Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Host Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. Trinidad and Tobago's Attorney General tests positive for COVID-19. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Wednesday, 23rd February 2022. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Ann Shopping Centre, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. The Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, the second highest ranking member of the cabinet, has tested positive for COVID-19. He is now in mandatory quarantine. And as the AG's office made the announcement on Monday, the Office of the Prime Minister announced that a support staff member of Trinidad and Tobago's delegation presently in Qatar has also tested positive for COVID-19. But the rest of the delegation, led by the Prime Minister, has tested negative. Joel Brown of TV6 News has this report.
The Attorney General, the second highest ranking member of the Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago, has tested positive for COVID-19. He is now in mandatory quarantine. And as the AG's office made the announcement today, the Office of the Prime Minister announced that a support staff member of this country's delegation, presently in Qatar, has also tested positive for COVID-19. But the rest of the delegation, led by the Prime Minister, has tested negative. Joel Brown reports.
In a brief statement, Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Faris Al-Rawi's office announced that he has tested positive for COVID-19. The Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs said this is as a result of a positive PCR test result received on Monday, February 21st. The statement did not say whether the AG, who was also the MP for San Fernando West, had severe or mild COVID symptoms. However, the Attorney General's office said he will continue to execute his duties and responsibilities as he remains in quarantine as recommended by the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 guidelines, and that further updates will be provided subsequently. On April 27th of last year, the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs had announced that the AG had been informed that he was a primary contact of a recent COVID-19 positive case, although his office said last April that he was tested for COVID-19 and received a negative PCR test result one day earlier. Out of an abundance of caution and in compliance with COVID-19 protocols, the AG commenced isolation for 14 days from April 26th of last year and would have executed his roles and responsibilities remotely via virtual platforms and other relevant forms of communication. And shortly after the announcement that the second highest ranking member of the cabinet had tested positive for COVID-19 on Monday, the Office of the Prime Minister announced that a member of the support staff team that accompanied the Trinidad and Tobago delegation to Doha, Qatar, had tested positive for COVID-19. Last Thursday, the OPM announced that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley would depart on Friday for Doha, Qatar, where he is expected to participate in the 6th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum, or GCEF, upon the invitation of the Emir of the State of Qatar. The OPM said last Thursday that Minister of Energy and Energy Industries and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister Stuart Young would accompany the Prime Minister to the forum. It also includes the president of the Natural Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago, Mark Luquan, and the chairman of Caribbean Airlines, Ronnie Mohammed. Although the Office of the Prime Minister did not give details such as the specific designation of the support staff member who tested positive for COVID, the OPM said the officer tested negative via a PCR test result before departure and again tested negative on arrival at the airport in Qatar, but that a subsequent test at the hotel produced a positive result. The OPM said the officer is currently in isolation and under medical supervision, and that the test results for the other members of the delegation remain negative.
In related news, before the Office of the Prime Minister announced that a member of the support staff of Trinidad and Tobago delegation in Doha, Qatar, tested positive for COVID-19, the rest of the delegation tested negative. The OPM has also announced that Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley met with the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Dr. Saeed Ibrahim Raisi, on Monday. And the Energy Minister also told TV6 News that he addressed a ministerial meeting at the summit ahead of the meeting of government leaders of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum on Tuesday. TV6's Jewel Brown again reports.
The OPM said that the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Dr. Keith Rowley, and the President of Iran, Dr. Saeed Ibrahim Raisi, are in Doha for the 6th Summit of Heads of State and Government of the Gas Exporting Countries Forum, also known as the GECF. A photograph of the meeting can be found on the official website of the President of the Islamic Republic of Iran, with a headline which said that Iran has always supported the independence demands of Latin American nations and is ready to transfer its oil and gas experiences to Trinidad and Tobago. The OPM said on Monday that discussions between Prime Minister Rowley and the President of Iran included a focus on the role of natural gas in the global energy landscape, but provided no further details about the talks. According to analysis from the U.S. Energy Information Administration, or EIA, Iran holds some of the world's largest deposits of proved oil and natural gas reserves, ranking as the world's third largest and second largest reserve holder of oil and natural gas, respectively, in 2020. However, the EIA also says that despite its abundant reserves, Iran's crude oil production has fallen since 2017 because the oil sector has been subject to underinvestment and international sanctions for several years. Trinidad and Tobago earns much of its revenue from its oil and natural gas reserves, particularly from its exports of natural gas products such as liquefied natural gas or LNG, ammonia and methanol. Trinidad and Tobago, Iran and Qatar are members of the GECF. The United States Department of State's website says the U.S. has imposed restrictions on activities with Iran under various legal authorities since 1979, following the seizure of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Trinidad and Tobago has close ties with the United States and continues to export LNG to the U.S. TV6 News also sought an update from Energy Minister and Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Stuart Young, with regard to the work of the TNT delegation in Doha. Minister Young told TV6 News that Monday was the special ministerial meeting of the GECF, where, as the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, he led a Trinidad and Tobago delegation comprising of the Permanent Secretary, Penelope Bradshaw-Niles, the President of NGC, Mark Luquan, and Special Advisor, Selwyn Lashley. Minister Young said he delivered remarks on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago where he shared the view with the ministers assembled of the importance of natural gas in the energy transition taking place. The Energy Minister said he implored upon the ministers that the GECF must chart the destiny of the use of natural gas and the transition away from other hydrocarbon fuels as the clean energy. Minister Young told TV6 News that the GECF will play a critical role in the global determination of how capital and energy should be deployed and how we use gas in the reduction of harmful carbon emissions as we tackle global climate change and global warming. When we posed the question about whether, given the quantity of Trinidad and Tobago's exports of natural gas-based products such as LNG, ammonia and methanol, if the Twin Island Republic's presence at the summit provides a unique perspective being a small island state, Minister Young said absolutely. He said that, in fact, Trinidad and Tobago has one of the most diverse gas portfolios. The OPM said on Tuesday that Prime Minister Rowley will deliver a national statement at the GECF summit. The OPM said Prime Minister Rowley is also expected to meet with the Emir of the State of Qatar on Thursday. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has been elaborating on government's plans for the youth economy. According to the Prime Minister, the budgetary allocation for the undertaking will be in the millions, with a more streamlined approach to youth programs under the government's purview. Jason Darius of the DBS News World reports.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has broken down the construct of the new youth economy. The Prime Minister says all matters relating to the economic development of the island's youth will be merged under the youth economy umbrella.
Once you hear about youth, you must only speak about sports and culture, etc. That's important. But the youth economy is specifically economic ventures for young people. And the aim is that we can convert hobbies into entrepreneurship and skills into business. And who else can be more innovative than young people? So there are several things that young people can do, but we don't want them not tied into a system, but tied into a situation where you have the normal functions that young people get bored about. But there must be transparency and there must be accountability. So what we say to you is, if you have an idea, if a young person has an idea that they want to manifest itself to become sustainable and make money, that's what the youth economy is for. So the youth economy is part of the economic substructure for young people. This is what it's about.
Prime Minister Pierre says the allocation for the youth economy would be in the millions. There will also be a streamlining of various youth initiatives from the different ministries and government departments.
This year, I am going to say there's an allocation of X amount of $1 million to be accessed by young people for the program of the youth economy, working out of the Ministry of Economic Development. And the reason why it's there, because we want it to be an economic program. This is why I say, working closely with the Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Education. Because, I'll tell you something, there are several sectors that talk about there's youth in agriculture, youth in industry, youth in this, youth in that. But there's no central home for young people. So the idea is you bring all these things into the youth economy, into that substructure of the entire economy, and it links with other parts of the system.
The anticipation is for a yearly increase in the budgetary allocation for the youth economy.
I want the youth economy budget to increase every year. I won't tell you what it is this year, but it's going to increase every year. So you can know, young people can know, listen to me, there are X amount of $1 million there for our development, which you have to access. But they have to be transparent and accountable. We expect them to be. We expect some level of responsibility. We're going to have provisions for errors. You see, I'll tell you something. We tend to be so rough on our young people that we tend to believe that, listen, young people are this and that, but they're not worse than when I was young, you know. I mean, it's just that we could take more chances. As a young man, I could do more things. But young people now can't take chances because the world is so rough on them, and the consequences of the actions are much more than consequences of my actions when I was a young person. So we know there are going to be mistakes. We know that there are going to be errors. We know that there are going to be some failed situations. But generally, I think the young people will embrace it and move forward.
Prime Minister Pierre says he is awaiting budget presentation in April to reveal the final details of St. Lucia's youth economy. For the DBS News World, I am Jason Darius.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair granaries will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.